Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to make another one of these little components here. And I know I did that, I showed you that with the ring, but I'm going to go ahead and do it again anyway. So we're going to start by picking up 6 and 6 of these Ilos beads with 6 11-Os in between them. So if you start with an Ilos, you should be ending with an 11-O seed bead. So do 6 and 6. So this is what we have. 6 seed beads. No, I have 5 seed beads. I need one more seed bead. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 Ilos beads. I'm going to bring those close to the end. And I'm just going to go through everything again. I'm not going to tie a knot, because tying a knot this early for this particular project is going to make these beads, these Ilos beads, sit weird. So, and we don't want them to sit weird because it'll be too tight to maneuver and they won't sit very nice. I tried it that way and I did not like it. Okay, now I'm almost to my little tail. I'm just gonna go in through this 11-O, the next Ilos, and I'm gonna come out of my next 11-O because I want to go past my tail. It just works better that way. And I didn't do that. I got out. I don't know how I did that. So I'm gonna go back, and then I'm meeting my tail again. Now I'm just gonna go past my tail into that Ilos. Now I'm coming out of my first 11-O after my tail. Okay, all set, ready to go. Now from here, I'm going to pick up 3 15-Os coming out of an 11-O. Coming out of this 11-O in between these two Ilos, picking up 3 15-Os, letting them drop, then circle around and go through that same 11-O that you're coming out of. And make a little picot there with your 15-Os. If you can't catch your 11-O bead, do it now. So I'm coming out of my 11-O bead again, picking up 3 more 15-Os, circling around, going to go back through that same 11-O, circling around, and then I'm going to go through it and through the Ilos and through the next 11-O, and I'm going to do it again. And I'm going to do this all around, making these little picots at each of these 11-Os. Go ahead and do that. And then I will show you what comes after that. Now I have all my picots done, and then when you put in your last grouping of 15-Os and you go in through the Ilos after it, come on out of the, you're going to be going in through your first 11-O where we added our first 15-O beads. That's okay. Go in through that 11-O and then sew up through these 3 little 15-Os, and you need to be coming out of your middle 15-O, so right at the picot. Once I'm coming out right at my picot, I'm going to go now from picot to picot, adding a 15-O, a pearl, and a 15-O. So coming out of this picot, I'm going to go into this next one. Okay, and I'm going to do that again. 15-O, pearl, 15-O, in through my next picot. And then again, 15-O, pearl, pearl, and I have to use this one because I only took out 6. And so it's not like I can just grab another one. And this one is just running away from me. Okay. 15-O, pearl, 15-O. Go in through my next picot. Now here's my tail. I didn't need to leave such a big tail. It just kind of happened and I didn't fix it, and I should have. But see this? It's way too big. Well, you probably can't see it because of the white. See that long tail? That is way too big. You don't need to leave such a big tail like that. But it kind of happened. Okay, 15-0 pearl, 15-0. Next picot, 15-0 pearl, 15-0. Next picot, and then now we're going to do our last one. 15-0 pearl, 15-0, and make sure you're actually going through the actual picot bead, okay? Since it's already part of a grouping, it's easy to confuse it, so just be careful. Okay, and then we're going to pull these snug, not really tight, just snug. And now we need to drop our little crystal in there. So if you saw the video with the ring, there's a little bit of a trick. You kind of have to be on top of your Ilos beads and under, it's hard to do this on camera, and under your seed beads. So you need to, whoops, plus it's sticking to me, so you need to just position it to where, I'm just going to pick this up, where you put your crystal, where your crystal falls on top of your little Ilos, but it's under your seed beads. And this might take a little bit of maneuvering, but it can be done. And then what'll help is if you just start going through all the little seed beads, including your little picot bead, around it to kind of tighten it. And that will tighten all of these beads, and it will hold your little crystal in place. Okay, so I'm just going to keep, see, that's how it should look from the back. But it's kind of funky in the front because we need to fix it. I need to keep going through these little 15-0s, my pearls, and everything is just falling out of my hands. Okay, my 15-0s and my pearls, and of course also that little picot bead. Keep going through that as well too. Okay, there we go. Now we got it going. See? Whoops, too close. See? So this is what you should have. Keep going through your little 15-0s and your pearls till it's nice and good and tight. Probably just one complete time, maybe, and this is after you add your beads, maybe 1 to 2 more times. If you feel like it's too tight in there, then don't do it. But either way, you should end up with something like this. Okay, and I'll meet you back. So I finished my little component, and all I did was, after I went around the top beads, all of my 15-0s and my pearls, I just sewed down. I just went through my picot, one of my picot beads, and then down, which means down the 15-0 that's below my picot, and then in through my 11-0, and then I met my tail and I tied a knot. So this is complete. Now do as many of these as you think you're going to need for your wrist. And also let's talk about what we're going to put in the middle of our bracelet, because that is also going to, you need to take that into consideration as well. Now I did 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 little components for my wrist, but I do have a small wrist. But also all I'm doing in the middle is adding this little connection point, which is only a 15-0, an 11-0, and a RounDuo on either side of my with little seed beads on either side of my RounDuo. So I think with that, I'm going to have enough to make it big enough for my wrist size. And also what I'm going to do, I'm going to put at the end of my bracelet here, also I'm going to put 2 more RounDuos here, and then I'm going to do my clasp coming out of my RounDuo, and of course my loop is going to be on the RounDuo on this side. So that is also, so I think once I have this last piece connected, and of course, you know, I don't need to show you how to do 6 units. That's why I already have them done, and that's why I've already connected them. Of course, I need to sew this one, and I'm going to show you how I do it, how I did mine. Now, just keep in mind, you don't have to connect your units the way I'm connecting them. You can use a lot of different beads. The easiest way to connect units like this is using 2-hole beads. Oh, that is just super easy because they have 2 holes, and it's just easy to sew through one, connect the other one, come out, going through the other hole, and so forth. Or if you're doing 2 needles, if you're connecting them using 2 needles, you know, it's easier like that too. So, well, not really, because you have 2 needles. You don't really need 2 needles. But anyway, 2-hole beads are, well, for me, they're very easy. It's very easy to connect units using 2-hole beads, and there's so many of them. I'm using RounDuos. You can also use mini RounDuos. You can use iris duos. You can use ruler beads. You can use bricks. You can use, you can even use round trios, and just because these are 5mm, these are RounDuos, and RounDuos are 5mm. The mini RounDuos are 4mm. Now, if you want something bigger in between them, but with 2 holes, you can use your round trios. And I don't have one right in front of me. You can use your round trios, and your round trios are 6mm beads. So it would look like this, but you would have a 6mm bead in between them. And all you would need to do is just use the 2 outer holes and not use the middle hole. So, or if you don't want to use any 2-hole beads, you can just see, and I still have some thread connected here. You can just go through your Ilos and then do a little right angle weave unit as a connector. So you can do that too. You don't have to do you know, like how I like to do it. I'm using 2-hole beads. You can just do a little right angle weave unit. So, and then on another one that I did, I don't have it out. I wish I had it. On another one that I didn't even use beads like that. I used seed beads. I just connected Ilos to Ilos. I just came out of my Ilos, put some 11-Os, I think some 11-Os, went through this Ilos, came out, and then put more seed beads, and then went through this Ilos. So I just have like a little, and they look like, then in other words, it ends up looking like 2 lines of seed beads in between my units. So I did that on the other one. I didn't really like it though. It looked kind of plain. So I like it better like this. I like the RounDuos, so that's why I stick to the RounDuos for this one. So like I said, I'm using RounDuos. You don't have to do that. So go ahead and grab whatever you want. Another favorite of mine to use is iris duos. Oh my, I love how iris duos look in between each of these, because they're so, just the shape of them, it's so pretty, it's so delicate looking, and it gives it an even more delicate look. But I use those a lot, so I wanted to use something different. So get yourself the beads you're going to use for your middle component, and I will meet you back. So now I'm going to connect this little piece to the rest of my bracelet, and I'm just going to keep this thread on this side so I can use it to connect my button And then on with this thread that I left, and I did leave a needle on it, I'm going to connect it with this one. So I have my RounDuos here, and I'm using the crystal Sliperit, and I picked out the ones where it had the Sliperit really showing on the top of it. So that's what I did. Okay, so I got all of my little units ready to go. Ready connected. I'm just going to add my last one. I'm coming out of my Ilos bead. Now I'm going to pick up a 15-0, an 11-0, and I'm using the wrong color of 11-0s. Okay, that's fine. I don't think you'll be able to tell. My 15-0, my 11-0, I'm going to go in through. I'm looking all over my bead mat to see if I can find some more bronzy 11-0s. Okay, I think I found a couple. Okay, so I have my 15-0, my 11-0, and I'm going to go through my RounDuo. My RounDuo. Okay, through one hole. Then I'm going to go through, wait, how did I do this? Okay. Then coming out of my RounDuo, I'm going to pick up an 11-0 again and a 15-0 again. And then I'm going to go through my next unit, through the Ilos. Only the Ilos, and do not catch any of the 11-0s that are on either side of it that are part of the unit. And there we go. And then now coming out of this unit, on goes a 15-0 again, another 11-0, and I'm going to go through my RounDuo again, pulling kind of tight so that I don't have thread showing. And then coming out of my RounDuo, I'm going to pick up an 11-0, a 15-0, and then I'm going to go back through this Ilos here where I started, through the other end, and only the Ilos bead. Okay. Only the Ilos bead. And I'm going to pull. Whoops. And not tangle my thread. Okay, so this is what I have. I've already connected it. Now the only thing I'm going to do now from here is go through all of these beads one more time to make sure that this little piece is connecting them really secure. So go ahead and go through them again, and I will meet you back. I went through these beads again, and I'm coming out of my RounDuo. Now on the other pieces, when I came out of my RounDuo and I went up these beads and through my Ilos, I tied a knot at one of these strings coming out of my Ilos beads. I just made a loop and tied a knot, and I put my knot into my Ilos next to it. But I already have a knot here, and it looks like I have one here. So I don't think I can do that, but I'm going to go ahead and tie one here, coming out of my RounDuo, going like that, making a loop before the 11-0, and I'm just going to take it in through the 11-0. And then I think I'll do one here after my 15-0, another knot. Don't catch your 15-0. And then I'm going to bring my needle in through that Ilos. And then I'm going to just cut my thread. I'm actually going to use my thread burner. I'm not going to cut it too short because I really can't see. So I'm just going to do that for now. All right. So is it going to fit? I think so, because I'm still going to add my two RounDuos here. So my 2 RounDuos, and then my button. Okay, so I'm coming out here. Let me put my bracelet down. I'm coming out here, and I'm going to go in through my Ilos. Now from here, I'm going to do that again. I'm going to do 15-0, 11-0, RounDuo, RounDuo, and then from here I'm going to pick up 2 11-0s, my button, and I'm using this crystal cut button, and I'm going to go through one of the holes, and then I'm going to decorate the top of it by doing I'm just going to make it easier on myself and use 11-0s. I'm going to do 11-0, and I lost my pearl. I took out another pearl to put on there, and I lost it. Okay, then I'm just going to do 3 11-0s. And then I'm going to go in, I'm coming out of one hole, I'm going to go in through a hole that sits across from it. Okay? And then I'm going to pick up 2 more 11-0s. I'm going to go back down my RounDuo here. And then I'm going to go pick up, just going to pull everything. I'm going to pick up an 11-0 and a 15-0. And then I'm going to go back through this Ilos. And I'm going to reinforce everything all over again. So this is what we did. I have my cut button on. And I'm just going to go off camera a little again so I can just see if it's going to fit. Yeah, it's going to fit. Okay, so I'm coming out of this Ilos. I'm going to go back through everything. My 11-0s, my RounDuo, well, 15-0, 11-0, RounDuo, 11-0, 11-0, cut button, 11-0s up here, and then down everything again. And I'm probably going to do this 2 times. So I will meet you back after that. So I reinforced all of these beads 2 more times. So I actually have 3 passes, 3 threads going through all of these beads here. Okay, so once I came out of my Ilos, I went in through that 11-0, and now I'm in between the 11-0 and that next Ilos here. And I went down through the thread in between them, and I made a loop. So I'm just going to go ahead and tie a knot over here on this side. Now I'm going to just add my my RounDuo, and then just do my loop, and that's all I'm going to do, and then I will be done with my bracelet. So I'm coming out of my Ilos, and I'm here at this middle one, and I'm going to do the same thing again. 15-0, 11-0, RounDuo, and then as I said, I'm picking them up carefully so that I have that shiny side up. I added my 15-0, my 11-0, my RounDuo, and now coming out of my RounDuo, I'm going to do a bunch of 11-0s, and I just found my pearl. A bunch of 11-0s, and then I'm just going to go down the other side of my loop, and plus I'm going to make sure that I get enough that fit around my crystal button comfortably, and after that I'll show you what I got. And this is my finished piece. Now all I did on this side was I added a bunch of seed beads, and I just kept checking to make sure that they went around my crystal button comfortably. And then I did need a little bit more room, so I just made like a little thing there, and and I did my loop off of that just to add a little bit more length, just a teeny weeny bit more length. So this is what I have. This is my Illustrious Ilos Bracelet made with the components. Now, super simple. And as I said, you don't have to connect them with these RounDuos. You can use whatever you want. So there's a lot of different beads you can use. You can even do right angle weave units, whatever you want. Ladder stitch also, you can do that. I think anything would be really pretty just because the unit itself is very shiny and very pretty. So, and as I said, I did another one and I used a toggle on this one. And this one, this is how I connected them. See, I just did a series of 15 O's, a pearl, and more 15 O's, and I connected them through the Ilos that way. But it wasn't my favorite way to do it. I prefer the RounDuos or something else like Iris Duos. But this is what you should have, or something similar. So I hope you enjoy making this, and thank you very much for watching.